What's up everybody, Max Locke, and we are back again with another video. This time we are racing the Moore series. This is at Americus for the little spring round. It was supposed to be a GP format with two 30-minute motos, but we got, the property got a bunch of unexpected rain, or I thought it was unexpected. I had no idea it was going to rain like that on Sunday morning, and it turned into a mud fest. So they ended up pushing everything back. There was no practice, and we basically raced an abbreviated hare scramble. So it was a 45-minute hare scramble, just a single moto on a shorter track. So I was able to get 5 laps, and it was a lot of fun. See, the start here was pretty chaotic. A couple guys went down in front of me. Brian Berry was one of them. I was telling him sorry there because pretty sure I ran over his hand. He didn't seem too bothered by it, but I kind of looked down and realized, like, oh, I'm like on his hand. So kind of rolled forward off of him, and then I quickly realized how slick it was, and I just slowed way down. It's not a series that I was racing for points in, and I don't know, it just kind of sketched me out, kind of spooked me, I think, how slick it was. So I kind of fall back here this first lap. Also no practice, not knowing the track layout, or what it looks like, not having any time on the bike yet that day. Really made me really timid the first lap. But then we kind of got our feet under us and picked up the pace. Brian Berry gets around me right here somewhere, I'm pretty sure, in this field section pretty quick, right here. And I ended up catching back up to him. He ended up second on the day, and I ended up third. It was an awesome race. You'll see as the video goes on, after I catch back up to him, I was able to kind of keep up with him the whole time for the most part. He was definitely a little faster than me, and I just never could get around him, and he held a great race and never made any mistakes, and it was a ton of fun, probably the most fun race I've ever had. So I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun, even though it was a mudder, but it was a really cool track, shortened track, you know, just a few miles, but it's a really good day overall. So just a couple little races here while MHSC's on what I would call a summer break. They're not really truly on a summer break, but it sure seems that way. Lucky enough to get a couple races in here back-to-back weekends. So a great time was had. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. The bike did really good. So yeah, feeling pretty good on the bike, feeling good about the bike. Everything's really rolling well here the second half of the season, so really excited about it. Hopefully we can keep up some of this momentum. Running the chest mount on the GoPro this time, so you can kind of see the full handlebars and everything, which it is a cool view, but there are times where I'm standing that it makes it a little harder to see. So sorry about the different camera angle. I don't know that I really love it, but that's what's going on with that. I do have helmet mounts ordered again, so I will be able to get it back on my helmet. That's the way I like it. So if you don't like it like that, I don't know, I guess go watch somebody else's videos, but that's how I like it. And then there is a section that is cut out. It just, the camera got too muddy and I never wiped it. I was trying to wipe it throughout the race, but you get to racing and just kind of forget about it, kind of forget it's there. So there is a section that's cut out. You'll see it. It kind of jumps. So we'll be riding down the track, and you'll see kind of the mud clot come into frame, and then it'll all of a sudden jump to a section where we're sitting there waiting on the trail to get clear so that we can go through. So anyway, like I said, a lot of fun. Moore series. They did an awesome job. Really liking this series. It's cool. Really well ran. Steve Levine is the guy who runs it. Long-time MHSC champion and winner, and just seems like a really good guy. Talked to him not this weekend so much, but the weekend before just a little bit, and yeah, pretty excited for the Moore series. In the couple rounds I've ran, I've had a lot of fun and I've really enjoyed it. Thought it's been well put together. So if you're in Missouri and racing, and maybe another series, or maybe a motocross guy, and somehow ended up here on this video, then go check it out. I really wish it would have been a GP format. I've really been wanting to do one of those where you kind of push really hard for 30 minutes twice in one morning. I'm not much of a sprinter. I really am more of like I can ride a consistent speed for a really long time type of guy. So I was doing it to try and kind of widen, just the kind of style that I'm riding, and what I'm trying to work on is a little bit more sprint speed. So like I said, this first lap here doesn't show that. It's it's really slow, it's really timid, but it did quit raining. You can see all the puddles everywhere, and this is a new section of the same piece of property that we all race on, so the ruts weren't real deep and it was just kind of wet everywhere. And then once the puddles kind of got splashed out, there actually was some traction here and there, so it was pretty cool. The fields were super slick. There was a couple portions that were really slick and kind of treacherous, but for the most part the track actually ended up being pretty decent as far as the mutter goes. So yeah, that's about that. Got third in C30. Pretty happy about that. Sorry for messing up everybody's points in the Moore series. I'll get out of your series now, and maybe we'll run with you boys next year or something, and girls. But maybe we'll chase that series instead. We'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Watch the video and enjoy it. If you would, give it a like. Hit that subscribe button for me. I'm trying to get my subscriber count up a little bit. It's kind of lacking where I was hoping it would be, but that's alright. I'm really doing this just for the fun of it, so it is what it is. Appreciate everybody that watches. Drop a comment down below if you got something to say, and I'll probably reply to you. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys at the next round. See ya.
Good ride, brother. Good.